Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report. And as expected, Malcolm Brogdon wins Sixth Man of the Year award following Bill Walton and John Havlicek, the namesake now, first year of this trophy. So strong Celtics tradition of the six-man position continues with Brogdon in his first year in Boston. A pretty fitting win and credit to Brogdon accepting a bench role this year, which in the end, he played every game off the bench this season, all 67. I think a huge factor in the way this voting went. In the end, despite a big rally by Immanuel Quickley in the second half of the season, Brogdon edges him out 408 to 326 in total points, 60 to 34 in first place votes. Second place votes pretty narrow between those two, making it 1-2 race. Bobby Portis the third in distant third. Brogdon, though, all year available, efficient, nearly 50, 40, 90, and among the 3 to 5 best three-point shooters in the NBA at 44.4%. Made the most of his opportunities, gave the game what it needed as this year progressed, especially when he balanced his passing with his scoring. And when he needed those bigger scoring games, he did carry this team in that shorthanded effort against Milwaukee on the road, bigger games down the stretch of the season, that win over Toronto. Before the season ended, he scored 29 points on 10 and 19, 20 against the Spurs in that blowout win just a few weeks earlier, as well as 20 against Houston, and 24 against the Cavs in a close loss, marked by those Grant Williams missed free throws. He could get there for this team. Volume scorer who also drove and kicked about 11 times a game this year, became critical to their bench runs, and as this year went on, became a better defender, which is what Joe Mazzulla really hit on today when he talked about Brogdon's impact this year. Here's what he had to say.
It means a lot. I tell all our guys, each guy has had to sacrifice or put something aside for the better of this team. And when you have the depth and the talent that we have, you can't be in the position that we are without it. And so I thought Malcolm taking on the identity of the second unit, dealing with the patience of sometimes finishing halves, sometimes not, sometimes finishing games, not finishing games. I thought he handled it with an open mind. He handled it with a humility, and kind of regardless of, what his sub pattern was or what he was doing, he just played. And we're grateful for that.
Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet.
Now, Brogdon appeared down here in Atlanta. The Celtics arrived, and he went right to TNT to accept that trophy. We will hear from him tomorrow at shoot-around. Pretty gracious over the recent weeks in terms of his candidacy. Said it'd be great for the organization, as well as his teammates and the coaches, for the way they set him up to succeed this year. The real credit for Brogdon, though, I think goes to his acceptance of that role. And couldn't have imagined, I think this is going to go down as one of the best trades in Celtics history, and there's certainly been many, but just the price they got this guy at. Daniel Tice, Aaron Nesmith, a first-round pick that's going to be 29th overall. When we kicked around this trade in past years, you thought maybe Smart goes, maybe multiple picks go. You thought it would be an expensive deal, but after injuries struck him last year and limited to 34 games, the interest around the league didn't become strong. So they end up getting him for the price they did. He stays healthy this year. Again, the key, they managed him. We'll see how he ramps up into the playoffs. A few solid games so far. Nothing great from him so far this postseason, but the regular season, couldn't have imagined it going better. By the time the playoffs arrived, got integrated into that defensive system. And as expected, playing next to Jason Tatum, open enough from three that he had a unbelievable catch and shoot season, as well as a season attacking off the dribble and pulling up that I think is going to continue to be key into these playoffs, especially on the nights where he can garner more minutes. Brogdon, the big news of the day, Sixth Man of the Year. We will speak to him tomorrow morning here in Atlanta. Of course, check out our coverage of Hawks practice today. And tomorrow night, we will have post-game coverage here from State Farm Arena of Celtics Hawks Game 3, where the Celtics can take a 3-0 lead in this series. For CLNS Media from Atlanta, Celtics All Access, subscribe to both of those channels. I'm Bobby Manning, and congrats again to Malcolm Brogdon.